On this week's Around the Corner, we brought you here to Tontitown to the Historical Museum.
Yeah, maybe you've been here for the famous Grape Festival or even to eat at Mama's Eats. But you're probably wondering, how did those traditions get started and why was the city founded?
Yeah, it's rooted in a lot of heartbreak and a lot of history that's well recorded in this original home behind us.
Let's check it out.
All right, so while you're here, you're gonna have an expert that's gonna walk you through from the beginning to the end. But let me give you a quick rundown on how we got here. It goes back to the late 1800s. 98 Italian families lured to Southeast Arkansas with the promise they'll get a little bit of land for a little bit of work. Here's the contract. It's 12.5 acres for 21 years of labor. Now they are promised they'll have the essentials to survive. Not the case. They get there, heartbreak, hardship soon follows. The graveyard is growing faster than the amount of Italians that are coming over. This guy right here, Father Bandini, he hears about his fellow countrymen, comes down from New York City, immediately says, this ain't happening. Essentially saves their lives, leads them to Northwest Arkansas, settles in what would become Tontitown, and better days follow.
This is one of the families, the Bassanellis, that came with Father Bandini. This is sisters Mary and Zelinda. This was their childhood home. And because they were forward thinkers, after they passed away, they wanted this home to be a museum filled with items from some of the original families in Tontitown. You learn a lot of stories about the history of how this was all founded, like this of the stained glass window that was in the first church built in Tontitown. A storm came through, knocked it down, but they were able to save this piece of history among the many other stories being told here.
Chances are you've heard of the Tontitown Grape Festival, but it hasn't always been the famous grape ice cream, grape stomp competitions, or even the carnival rides. In fact, it started back in 1898. That's the first year that the Italian settlers were here in Northwest Arkansas, and they decided to have a picnic to celebrate their new home, along with honor Father Bandini. Well, from there, they brought food that was native to their land in Italy, and surprisingly, there wasn't spaghetti until one family that came from near Rome, and they brought spaghetti for the first time. Well, the people, they fell in love with it. It became a staple, giving us that spaghetti dinner that we know and love today at the Tontitown Grape Festival. These are just some of the machines that women would use over the years to create the pasta, and as if the spaghetti wasn't enough, they decided they wanted to get more people to come to the area, and they wanted acceptance. So they started adding things like games, activities, in hopes to get funding for the church, as well as to make more friends here in Northwest Arkansas.
Do you remember that stained glass window we showed you? Well, this was the side of the church. This one replaced it, and they expanded even further with another church. So much history still visible.
And if you ever want to come check out the Grape Festival, it's here every year, every summer at St. Joseph's.
Guys, who knew Tontitown had so much history?
Pretty neat.
That's gonna do it for us this week. We'll see you next week on
Around the Corner.